Gonna welcome you all. Thank you for joining the Celo Camp UX audit, designing a magical user experience. In today's session, we will first hear from Asaf Bar Or and also welcoming Yuval Bar Or, who are co-founders of PitangoUX, a UX company based in Tel Aviv, Israel. And we will hear a lightning talk on UX and blockchain and what are the things we need to think about when building our apps. And afterwards, in the audit itself, we will split you up into 6 rooms. There will be 3 rooms per team and 1 UX expert. Each team will get 25 minutes of FaceTime with the auditor. You'll have 5 minutes to present your user task that you'd like to work on, and you'll receive advice from the auditor for 20 minutes. And then I'd like to give a special welcome to our UX auditors that are joining us today. From C Labs, we have Corey, Taylor, Daniel, and Vanessa. And thanks, guys, for joining us. And then we also have Greg Wong from Teller Finance, who's actually one of our Celo Camp mentors, and Asaf Bar Or from PitangoUX, who you will hear from shortly. And thank you all for joining us today. Asaf, I'm going to hand the floor over to you.
Great. Thank you very much. Let's try to connect and see that everything is working fine. Just one sec. Does everybody see the presentation? Yes. Great. So, first of all, I wanted to thank you all for joining us today. It's a pleasure to be here on the Celo Camp. My name is Asaf, as I was presented before. I'm the head of product design at PitangoUX. I've been working and consulting to startup for the last almost 20 years in building digital products from scratch. PitangoUX is one of the leading firms here in Israel, the startup nation. And we've been working globally with worldwide brands and companies and consulting through, about 300 to 400 companies till today. So before we jump in, I want to start with this slide. It's a bit obvious, but I will go ahead with it with the saying of UX matters. Especially for startups in their early days, in their beginnings. Great UX will give a better experience, will help your product to convert user with high retention rate, and in the end of the day will help you as a startup to boost and raise money and grow. And I think everyone in the digital product industry, especially the blockchain, has to give a lot of thinking about their UX process in their companies. So today I wanted to talk about 5 great tips, for a better blockchain UX design. I think those 5 tips we're gonna go over today are in a high level, but very important. I have to say, over the years, I met a lot of great companies. They didn't give enough, attention regarding the UX experience and the process. And, most of them were cut into the backend technology. So I think it's needless to say that some of those companies didn't go so far because they, in the end of the day, didn't listen to the users. So we're going to talk about today about trust, about the discovery process, and about the feedback and prevent user errors and simple language. So start, I think, with the most important thing, especially in crypto industry, it's trust. Okay, blockchain is an unfamiliar technology. Although more and more are joining the unprofessional users are afraid. They don't understand it yet. And in the end of the day, it's our a responsibility as a product, as an industry, to educate those early adopter and to show them the way. I'm familiar with a lot of blockchain product. I think most of them are talking with a very professional users, but the users are changing as the blockchain evolve, and we get more and more. I would say, more and more unprofessional users are joining the revolution, and we have to take this under consideration when we are doing our product. The second tip is all about discovery. Try to remember that all of you, you are not the user. Okay. I think first of all, when you start your process of discovery, you have to talk and to interview your users to understand who are they. You can talk with them over Zoom, you can do survey, you can talk to them face to face, but you have to listen them to understand. In the process of discovery, the persona creation is so important. In the end of the day, you have to understand what is your product, to whom is relevant. Is it relevant for a 90 years old guy? Is it relevant for a woman, for a man? Is this person is well educated? Is not a well educated? I think every company and every startup not only should think about it, but should write it down. And after you do understand who is your persona, try to understand your persona, truly what is his needs, his doubts, his frustrations. You really got to understand them. And just after you understand all of those things, and only then you can start working on the product flows, sketches, wireframes, and so on. So I think most of the companies that I personally met are starting at this beginning. They're starting in this stage, unfortunately, and I think it's too early before they even know and have a deep understanding about the users. The second tip is simple language. The blockchain is unfamiliar for many of our users, and as I said before, more and more unprofessional users are joining the revolution. So simplify unfamiliar terms. Don't talk, in cryptotones and lingo. You have to hire a professional micro copywriter to help you with the process. You have to double check it with your family and friends that are unfamiliar with the product. Don't go and check it, with your colleagues that all of them, at work know the industries and know the product. You need to check it with unknown users. The fourth tip is, the error. Try to prevent user errors. Remember that transaction cannot be reversed, some of them. You have to allow users to review their actions. And after they do review the action, you have to double check and confirm before clicking. They have to understand what they are going to do, what is the outcome of whatever they're doing. Try to prevent user errors with onboarding process, complicated process. I've seen them so many times, and we need to think about it. And I think the most, you have to remember that in the end of the day, we're dealing with user money. It's a very sensitive thing, and we have to keep it in mind. I think it's the last thing. It's about the feedback. Try always to remember that there is a lot of uncertainty for the user on any digital product, especially on blockchain products. So we can address this issue by providing constant feedback throughout the application. It's very, very important that the user do understand what he's doing, and the app or the product help us and guide us through the way. So for example, if it takes time to process a transaction, let the user know, okay, that it's being processed. If there are some changes, okay, so notify the user with any changes and keep them in the loop. It's also important. And I think, to something up, we are going to a place where no man has gone before. We are defining today the blockchain UX product design of the future. You guys are really changing, the way people are going to interact with blockchain product in the future. So it's truly an opportunity to create some amazing new products with this new technology of blockchain. Try to go and embrace those 5 tips, and I promise it will only do good to your product and process and your company growing. So this is all for today. Thank you very much from me, Asaf, and from Pitango.